Hello, welcome back to I Create For You. This is Lori, and we are in the Ghosts Among Us book, True Stories of Spirit Encounters. And we were doing the amusement part section. So, the next story is Friction in the Kitchen. The hotel connotes downstairs restaurant, Steak on the Lake, is home to the ghosts of two chefs who have been seen frequently over the years. Witnesses have reported a spooky scenario played out in the kitchen. The scene, they say, materializes before their eyes as two men in chef uniforms fight, tossing pots and pans and knives at each other. During my visit, I was walking up the stairs when I met a group of young women who were coming down, and we began talking. When the conversation turned to ghosts, they shared a startling encounter they had had weeks before on one of their frequent stays at the hotel. Lisa Schraftig, 17, Jennifer Hammett, 20, Larissa Stefano, 19, and Nico Joe Picrillo, 18, all from Newcastle, Pennsylvania, had been out late on a July night in 2003. They returned at about 3 in the morning and entered through the hotel's back door, which took them past the closed restaurant. They glanced through the window and saw a chef. We all stood there and just stared at him as he stared back, said Liza, shivering at the memory. He was sitting at a table next to the hostess stand, right through the main doors of the dining room. He looked as if he was writing on a piece of paper. There was something about his penetrating stare that chilled them. His eyes seemed to bore into them. After a moment, we realized what we were actually seeing, said Liza. The four stood frozen until all at once it hit them that he was not of this world. We all ran up the steps toward the front desk of the hotel and straight to our room. The next night, we told the desk clerk and two security guards about what we had seen. The girls were startled to learn that they were not the first to see the ghost of a chef. We knew the hotel was haunted, but it was the first we heard about a chef, said Larissa. On the night they saw the chef, the restaurant had been closed since 9 p.m. Employees had locked up hours before. The security guards told us that they found a broken window in the restaurant the night we saw the ghost, said Jennifer. Was the mysterious man simply an intruder? That, of course, would be the most logical explanation, if not for the fact that the man they saw was dressed in a vintage chef uniform, complete with a bow tied up at his neck. The girls were insistent upon that fact. As I loaded up a plate in the buffet line during dinner the next night, I noticed the restaurant manager rushing by and stopped him to tell him about the girl's sighting. Do your chefs wear uniforms like that? I asked. No, our chefs don't wear ties, he replied, and no one is ever here that late. Hotel security validated the girl's story. They had indeed reported seeing a man in the restaurant the same night the window was broken. What was the phantom chef writing on that piece of paper? His secret recipe? A suicide note? Since the frightened girls were in too much of a hurry to stop and read it, it will remain an enigma. Well, there you go. A chef writing a note, which could possibly be any of the three things that were mentioned in the story at the end. And girls who insist on his vintage chef attire. So, I'm going to try to just draw a crazy ghost chef who is mad that people are walking through his kitchen while he's trying to prepare food. All right. Let's see. We'll start with a funny hat that they wear on their heads. Sorry if there are any chefs that are looking at my channel right now thinking, well, that's it, I'm unsubscribing. No harm meant. I'm just saying the hat that I'm going to draw is going to look funny for sure. Okay, there's this funny hat that I drew. Not necessarily what they wear. Alrighty. That much is done so far. Let's see, make sure that you guys see what I'm doing here. He's mad, so we gotta give him mad eyebrows. Then we gotta give him mad eyes. Okay, let's try to make the rest of his outfit. Now his outfit has to have that bow. So we're going to, sorry, that's my printer making all kinds of noise. And I believe that they always had this kind of knotted thing in the front, and then it would have a tie like that. And then they would have their regular outfit, which I'm going to work on here, which has 2 lines going this way and bunches of buttons. Let me make sure you can still see me doing the buttons part. Okay. And there's like a pretty big coat they wear. Now I would put on in his hand like a knife or a fork or something like that, but since he was writing a note, I'm going to put a pen and paper in his hands. Okay, let me get down to his hands here. Three, four. No AI here. We gotta have it look like a original. So I'll have, this is his torn piece of paper that he's holding in his hand with a little bit of writing on it. And then over on this one, I shall have him holding a pen. I'm not sure what kind of pen they would have in that era. That would be his pen. And then I'm going to make him ghostly. So that's how the chef looks. Bring it back out and I'll bring it up to you. That's how he looks. He's upset. He's trying to write his secret recipe so he doesn't forget when he sees those girls. Oh my goodness, I think we have quite a few more of these amusement park. This is at an amusement park in the hotel that's at the amusement park, and the restaurant that is in the hotel is where this took place. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please give me a thumbs up if you like the content. Comment if you've ever heard of the chef ghost before. I haven't. This is my first. And there are probably going to be a few others till I get all done with all the stories that I have to tell. Subscribe if you haven't, because like I said, we have this whole book to go through. Woo! and it's a lot, and they're all different things, so it's not going to be the same group every month. So like maybe a month I'll do this one section at a time, so it's all different things. So stay tuned for that. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay creative, stay a little creepy now and then if you can. Doesn't hurt, and it could be fun. And I shall see you guys in the next one. Thanks for stopping by.